Aubrey Plaza, in a way you've never seen her before, as Emily the criminal.
She is Emily the criminal, and this is one of her greatest performances ever. I
Mm-hmm.
love watching her in this.
Yo, you gonna pay for that?
Sorry?
I said, are you gonna pay for that?
My God. Sorry, man.
Aubrey Plaza stars as the titular Emily. She's a young woman with tens of thousands of dollars of student loan debt, but she's only kind of working like menial jobs here and there part-time because she has a criminal record and never graduated from college and is having a hard time getting on her feet. She's got roommates. She finds out from a coworker of hers, oh, you can just text this number here and you can make a couple $100 really fast. It's no big deal. It's super easy. It just takes like an hour. And so she's desperate enough that she says, okay. And she shows up, and the Theo Rossi is the guy who has this underground credit card fraud scheme in this industrial part of Los Angeles. This is totally evocative of like seedy underbelly of LA. And I love that part of it. Like mundane, totally unglamorous LA.
Can you do something that is illegal? It's not dangerous, but it's illegal.
It's illegal. So just know that up front. And she does it and it goes well. And then she wants to do another and another. And even though she's putting herself in increasing danger, she's really good at it. And although she has the opportunity to get a legit gig somewhere, like she can't help but undermine herself over and over again. That's what's so fascinating about this character is that her impulsiveness is what makes her exciting to watch as a character, but she keeps sabotaging herself because she cannot like just say the right thing at the moment. Like she can't help but like say what's on her mind and say what bullshit it is with these horrible like jobs that are beneath her. And
yeah,
I love that about her.
I mean, part of it, yeah, she does. She's very outspoken, but I think also part of it is like the deck is stacked against her because like she goes into these job interviews and they bring up the she has a DUI, she has this like felony assault charge, and like no one can drop it and no one can just be like, will settle for an explanation. And then when she finds somebody that does, it's because it's for a fucking unpaid internship. And it's like, well, no, screw yourself. I'm not working for you for free.
Yeah. No, you don't blame her. You don't blame her for reacting that way. Like,
it's a whole corrupt system. And so it's like, yeah, she's certainly not necessarily doing herself any favors, but the world around her is broken. And the way that things are set up is broken. And that's why she becomes the criminal and not the artist that she should and would have become.
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating character study, but it's also an indictment of like our society and our economy and your favorite topic, capitalism. This is the feature filmmaking debut of writer-director John Patton Ford. And it's so efficient. It's so lean and mean. You really know who these people are and what you're getting into from the get-go. And it's propulsive. It's like this slow burn, but it really sucks you in and it gets going. Everyone is great in it. Aubrey Plaza just continues to surprise and shine and go to like uncomfortable places. I mean, this is beyond even Ingrid Goes West. I mean, this is a very, very complex character, and she embraces and thrives in those dark areas of the character's personality. Theo Rossi is very good, very charismatic as the guy who runs this whole scheme. And you can just imagine how easy it would be to say yes to this. I like that this movie doesn't judge anybody for saying yes to this. Because if you're desperate and you need to pay your bills, here's a quick way to make some money.
And they even pitch it to her as like, you will not be harmed and you will not have to bring harm to anyone else. It's almost like The Box or something where they're like laying out these things like it sounds good, you could get this money, But yeah, I think the movie is very sharp about like, where they come from. And we've seen this a lot more, I mean, starting with arguably with The Godfather, but I mean, like there has become this interesting subgenre of films that are like, sometimes people become criminals because it is the only avenue that society provides them to make money. If you cannot get a job because of where your parents were born or the color of your skin or your religion or your gender or any of that stuff, then all that is left to you are the non-legal ways of making money. And if you thrive there, then that's a win in a way, but even though at the same time it's like, oh, how terrible society, how could you partake in these crimes? But it's like, this is a woman who is painted into a corner And, there is no legit way out. And I think this movie asks us to take a harder look at how we treat, former felons and how much we ask them to make their past mistakes this albatross around their neck that they cannot get rid of. So yeah, I think this movie is really sharp in its sort of like, class and economic distinctions, but within that, it is this really fascinating character study of this woman who is clearly talented and clearly has a lot to offer the world, but also has a very short temper and is not gonna does not operate in like the schmoozy art world in the way that her successful friend in advertising does, Gina Gershon.
So
Gina
great.
Gershon has
Great.
a one scene, and oh, it's delicious as the woman giving her the job interview. So I love that this movie is about stuff, but it's also just a really good story.
For sure. So I'm saying 8.
I said 7.3. I am just continually impressed by Aubrey Plaza. She brings so much to this variety of characters. If you haven't seen Ingrid Goes West, go back and check that out. Also see Emily the Criminal, like 2 knockout performances of anybody has given in the last decade. So yeah, check this out.
And her voice sounds different.
Yeah, she's doing an accent. And
but even working. Like the tone of her voice, even beyond the accent, like it's a transformation. So anyway, Emily the Criminal, where is it playing? Where can people see it?
It is in theaters.
Go see it in a theater.